All right, welcome, welcome. We're getting ready to run through our weekly programming for the week of August 28th. And apologize for the delay on getting this out to you guys, but still wanted to be able to get this to you in a timely manner for the rest of the week's workouts. It is currently Monday when you're getting this, and so some of you have already had a chance to do Monday's work. We have some bench press. It's something that we're going to be focusing on over the rest of September, back and forth a little bit. We're also going to have a little focus on the deadlift. I'll be sending out more information around what our full September programming will look like here at the end of the week. Once we're done with our bench press, we're going to do 3 sets of 10 on bench press. Should be a moderate weight that we can do over 3 sets. So all I tell people is like that's RPE of 5. So you should always just have a few reps left in the tank, even by that last set. Then we're going to do an AMRAP in 10 minutes, 15 or 12 on the cow bike, 12 sit-ups, and 9 push-ups. On those push-ups, obviously you could do that off a box, off a bar. One of the things around doing push-ups off the box or bar when we can do it logistically is that allows us to activate those glutes and those quads to help us press through the weight or press through the movement. So that's just something, a piece there. I got a little optional extra credit for today's work. So if you get done with the cool down, you have a little extra time, you want to spend a little time on the extra credit, you can. Obviously a 2-part workout when we have a little bit of strength and a little bit of a conditioning piece. Going to be a good upper body, kind of pump session there. So don't feel like you got to do the extra credit, but you do have some upper back work in there if you do choose to do the extra credit in there. Also, then on Tuesday, we're going to be doing a little modification to a benchmark workout. So the benchmark workout is Amanda. It's written as 975 of ring muscle ups and squat snatches with 135 pounds or 95 pounds. Popular workout, was first premiered back in maybe the 2010 or 11 games. I can't remember exactly, maybe 13, something like some of those early days back in California. But cool workout. I actually did this workout. The most memorable for me is 2011 regionals. We had to do this in the final day in regionals, and I had tore my hands up so bad the night before in the workout that I didn't even think I'd make finals. Then I actually made finals, and then had to do muscle ups with basically might as well have been like taped up boxing gloves on my hands. So that's my memory of Amanda. But we're going to do a modification to that. So we're going to do actually a dumbbell Amanda on Wednesday. So you're going to do an alternating dumbbell snatch on that one with the pull-up version or a ring muscle up or bar muscle up variation. So there's multiple options there. You could do a chest to bar pull up in there. The reps are a little different if you choose to do the muscle ups, the muscle up workout versus doing the pull ups and chest to bar one. So there is a little difference there because if you do the muscle up variation, it just takes a little longer. So it's actually fewer reps in that one than it is in the other one. So for those of you, if you see somebody who's doing muscle ups, they might do some modified reps on that. Dumbbells on this one, you can get pretty heavy on there. We actually encourage you to be a little heavy because we're not squatting with the snatch. I want you to choose a weight that you have to think a little bit more about. Like you shouldn't just be able to grip it and rip it and throw it off the floor. This workout, what we're looking for is more like that, 7 to 10 minute range, 7 to 8 minute range. And so you don't want to be able to just like power through all the reps so quickly. So just be mindful of that. Top weights for our guys might be 70 pounds, especially on that performance or the higher skill one. 45 to 50 pounds on the gals. So just be thinking about that when you're choosing that. Got a little cool down in there, a little bit of active cool down, some hip rotations and some banded W's. So that's what's going on Tuesday. A little benchmark action on Wednesday. We're doing a kind of a 2-part workout. So you're going to get some jump rope skill work in ahead of time. Excuse me. A little bit of jump rope skill work in ahead of time. And then we're going to do first one is a 10-minute running clock. You have to get 200 single unders in or 120 double unders, 50 or 40 cow row, and then 20 burpees over the rower. You're going to rest with the remaining time in that 10 minutes. So you have 10 minutes to complete that. Once the 10-minute mark hits, then we're going to move into a little different style workout where it's shorter rounds. So 50 single unders or 30 double unders, 12 or 10 on the cow row, and then 5 burpees over the rower. That's going to be 4 rounds for time. So 2-parter there. You get a little break in between depending on where you go there. I kind of like the style of these workouts where you get a little break time and then you hit the same movements for a different little scheme. So one's a little bit more steady pace. The other one then becomes take those same movements and sprint with it a little bit. Okay, on Thursday, we've got a 20-minute EMOM. Again, more to be towards like an RPE of like 8 to 9. So not necessarily recovery day, but the movements themselves and the way the style goes, like you can get more towards a 7 or whatnot. So you have some knees to elbows or knees to chest. You have toes to bar, either one of those. We're going to do wall balls in the 2nd minute, and then minute 3 and 4. So you have a 2-minute of like a max 25-foot shuttle run. We've done these before. We did them in the open, and we've done them in a couple different programming scenarios now. So that 25-foot shuttle run, that 3 and 4 minutes can really be determined on like how you want to kind of create a little bit more active recovery, because 2 minutes of running is going to take some time there. So just a heads up there. So then a cool down on the finisher there. Going to do a little waiter's walk. We're actually going to do a finisher here. So a little waiter's walk, little bird dogs, and T-spine foam roll. So get a little active hold overhead, but then also moving into a little bit of T-spine mobility work. On Friday, we're going to do what we call a Flex Friday workout. And you have to bear with me for a second because I did not put this on my screen. But I will get it up here in just a second. So Flex Friday. So on Friday, we're going to do a little bit more of a kind of a aesthetic day is what I'd call it. So working more towards our more bodybuilding, a little bit more shred action or something like that, if you will. So first of all, we're going to do some weighted pull-ups every 2 minutes for 5 rounds. On those 5 sets of 5 weighted pull-ups, now if you can do any regular pull-ups and you can't do up to 5, that's okay. This is actually a workout that we might say you could even use using a band for strength work there. You could potentially use that. You could do negatives potentially on this. So you could do up to 5 negatives. So even if you did like 1 to 2 pull-ups and that's what you can get in, but maybe you finish off the set with some negatives. So up to 5. If you can't get 5 reps with a strict pull-up, then you wouldn't weight it, by the way. We would want you to get up to 5 reps before you could then start weighting it. So only the 5 rep sets are only meant for someone who's actually going to be weighting it, or they can do all 5 reps, but they can't put on any weight. That'd be okay too. So that's part 1. Then part 2, I'm going to kind of stay focused on the upper body. Going to do some seated dumbbell shoulder press, some double dumbbell bent over rows, and then some standard banded face pulls. You guys are familiar with all those guys. And then we're going to do 3 sets of some curls, some bicep curl work. We call these 1.5 curls. So you do a full curl, then you do a half curl with some alternating dead bugs. So you can do those alternating dead bugs with a barbell actually pressed out. So we're using the legs, but we have the barbell pressed out. If you just do alternating dead bugs without any load, that's okay too. And then a little bit of cool down there. Got a little bit of an extended kind of, yoga-ish cool down there. But yeah, just kind of a lifting day, kind of a little bit of an aesthetic body day. Something that we don't do a ton of, but you would see this kind of a little bit more often when you see like our shred workouts. So it's kind of fun to finish off the week that way, especially after just doing a lot of barbell Olympic lifting things. All right, on Saturday then, we've got a 25-minute AMRAP. Okay, got some running, 400-meter run, 60 box jumps, 80 back rack alternating lunges, and 100 sit-ups. So if you're doing that back rack, you're putting the bar on the backside of the shoulders like you do a back squat. You can also load that a lot of different ways. If the barbell is not working for you that day, we load that plenty of ways. So, but anyways, working with that in that teams of 2 for a 25-minute AMRAP. And again, this is, you work, I rest back and forth, except your runs will be something that you'll do together. So just a hit on that. So that is what we've got for the week, guys. Again, later this week when I put out next week, so really the first full week of September, I'm going to also include kind of our full information on what you should expect in the September programming. You will see some benchmarks in there, some kind of classic CrossFit benchmark workouts. You'll see some deadlifting in there. You'll see some bench press in there. So just kind of getting us a different focus on things after doing the Olympic lifting stuff that we did for a number of weeks. We've also had a little bit more of a gymnastics focus. So you've seen some of the gymnastic skills in the programming a little bit more often, or some skill work in some of the programming, rope climbs, things like that. We're actually at the end of about a 9-week focus there. So you'll see that start to kind of sift out a little bit after this week. And then the other thing is last focus, you guys kind of saw more of sprint style workouts, minus like some of our active recovery workouts and things like that. Whereas this time around, you guys are going to see a little bit more of some focus on aerobic capacity. So think more effort workouts to where you're working on sustained pacing. RPEs might feel like an 8 or a 9, but it's an 8 or a 9 because of maybe the extent of the workout, not necessarily the speed in which the workout goes. So just a couple things to look forward to. Look at some of that stuff later on in the week when I send out the rest of the programming stuff. Have a great rest of your week, guys. We'll see you in the gym.